I would call it a national emergency, a threat to our economy, a threat to our way of life, a threat to our environment.
I think right now Sargassum is just seen as such a big, huge issue because it comes in so fast. It happens, you know, the decomposition and that stink smell happens so quickly when you're like scratching your head, what do you do? For our community to regain control, again, allows them to have power, to have freedom, to be able to provide solutions to an issue. So if everybody knows Sargassum is a problem, it's messing with my money, I'm not able to feed my family because tours are down or because hotels are down, how do we then not become so dependent? And I think that's really the defining factor of Bloom to Business, because this is not just the cleanup. We aren't just going out to clean the beach.
It's Francis Ely. I'm a tour guide. I've been a tour guide / fisherman for almost all my life, ever since I was a child, as far as I could remember. It's never been this bad. We never had the water stink. We never smelled the sargasso all the way to our houses, inside our houses. The stench is so bad. You know, it's unbearable.
Issue that we see with Sargassum is, to your point, the beaching. So we have so much of this naturally occurring algae because of changes in climate, changes in wind patterns, changes in ocean circulation. We start to see this huge buildup. And so ultimately, once the water doesn't flow anymore and reaches the beach, we see this huge mound of algae. Sargassum starts to beach. And then what happens, just like anything, because it no longer has those nutrients that water flow, it starts to decompose. So if it's not photosynthesizing, if it's not living, then it's dying. And so unfortunately, when it starts to decompose, you see the production of a toxic gas called, or toxic chemical really called hydrogen sulfide.
The water that's in the sargasso that's being decayed, it turns black, it turns foul. Stagnant. Stagnant's not even the word. It turns like a goo. And any fish that travels through that one particular area will surely die. And especially the juvenile fish that live in the shallows are dying at an alarming rate. We're seeing the birds picking up all the dead fish right now along the beach, and nobody's saying nothing. Everybody's turning a blind eye.
The tourists, anytime when the tourists they pass here, they don't know what to do. All what they smell is seagrass and stinking stuff, and they don't like that. And then they really got to do something about that seagrass.
Once you have something nasty and stinky that comes onto the beach, that has the potential to impact tourism. And so while I don't know the exact numbers, but a lot of Belize's economy is based on tourism. So any hit, if it's one hotel that's canceled, if it's one tourism that writes a Facebook post and say, oh, I'm not coming because they aren't cleaning up the Sargassum, then that leads to multiple amounts of hundreds of thousands of dollars that are lost. And so that is the true economic impact.
You know, the tourism, they come for our beaches, come for our waters, and not only the beaches, but the water around the beaches have this toxic smell. And it kills the beach, and it kills the vibe, it kills the aura of our community. It stinks, you know, literally.
As a marine ecologist, I know that Sargassum is actually a nursery sometimes. You'll see baby fish, you'll see baby crabs, baby jellies, shrimp, all of those in there. So if you're just taking a machine and sucking up Sargassum, you're really causing ecological changes that you're not even considering. And so looking at all that, I thought, well, let's just try something else. Let's just try something different. And that's ultimately what led to the Bloom to Business project.
The bigger bubbles. See, this is our mature tree. When we even grow up, we're going to hold on to this art. Yeah, this is what it used to look like. Yeah.
We bring them here into the pool, and then we have my colleague Jahim, who is sorting out the dead creatures and the leaves that are not interested, we don't need, and we put them inside the trash to get rid of them.
When you have that type of dramatic effect from an environmental concern, it makes sense to me to include the community because there is that real-time buy-in. You know, as a scientist, we sometimes come places, we're there for a couple years or maybe a couple of months, and then we leave. But folks have to live here, and this is something that's been going on for decades now. And so when you have that level of engagement with the community, you really see folks who actually care, but also want to provide solutions and are willing to give their time, are willing to give their ideas to really help the project go.
Hello, my name is Antoinette Ramirez. My first I used to work as private cleaner. I'm a private cleaner. Now I'm working at BIMS Business.
Before working with BIMS as a sargassum processor, I used to work at Mango's Belize as a waitress and Itzana as a housekeeper.
I used to work at public supermarket. Now I'm working with BIMS, sargassum processing, and I enjoy making weed killers and beautiful frames that we made.
Good afternoon, my name is Lucian Avila. Before I came to BIMS sargassum processing, I was a babysitter, and I'm grateful to be here.
The mission of BIMS is to celebrate Black marine scientists, spread environmental awareness, and inspire the next generation of scientific thought leaders. And that part right there, we were very strategic when making that last sentence because what is a scientific thought leader? You know, I'm just making up stuff like, what does that look like?
I want to go out there as well and teach people that more what's the use we all can do with it and what all the purpose as well with it.
These are, you can see, we tried some supplements in these, and so far if you can see, these are 5 years freshly planted, and they are already starting to sprout.
The economic potential. If you are able to collect and harvest sargassum, we're seeing the ability to reach into the billions of economic revenue. So now imagine something that was causing a problem, potentially losing us billions or hundreds of thousands of millions or whatever in revenue, has the potential to bring us in billions of dollars of revenue if we really are able to capitalize on what we have right in front of us.
Take the sargassum out of the pool or bring them to table 1, and then they're separating the immature and the mature ones. So the immature ones, we use it for compost. Look how beautiful is it? And then we have the mature ones that we use for the frames.
Whenever we talk about the next generation, people automatically assume that we're talking about kids and youth. But what about the folks that never got the chance to be a scientist? What about the folks that never had the opportunities that I've had the privilege to be given? So that next generation of scientific thought leaders looks like anybody who is curious enough to care to want to be involved with this project. And I think, again, that's a different model because there is so much leadership, so much creativity, so much innovation, and folks who were never given a chance because someone just said, oh, well, you should just be a tour guide, or you should just stay and watch the kids, or you should do this. Not, oh, you can be a marine scientist, you get to go and do these things. So I think it's really just changing who is seen as thought leaders, who are seen as innovators, and then ultimately who are seen as scientists.
All right, so we're here at table 2. So after sorting out the immature from the mature, we have these beautiful people who go and get the mature ones, and then we press them, we bring them over here, and then from there we start creating the frames, right? As you can see how beautiful the frames are looking.
I mean, I think this is an opportunity for look at science, community engagement, economic development differently. What we've been able to do is take a bunch of folks who don't necessarily have a background or a degree in marine science and train them into marine scientists. They know more about sargassum and the biology and the chemistry now than they ever would have expected, and they don't have a 4-year degree or the 8-10 years that I had to go to school to do that. So I think it's about giving that knowledge that we have, but also pairing it with ecological and community knowledge that's already here, and then putting that together, and this is what we've got.
I feel good because, working, bringing something from the sea here into the land, to combine both of them together and create it as one. You're bringing it to someone's home. It feels so good, marvelous.
What stands out the most is that you can change what people think about the ocean in general, about sargassum. I mean, people weren't even calling it really like sargassum, you know, it's just like, oh, this thing that's on the beach or this algae or this seaweed or whatever. But saying like, hey, this is an actual part of the ecosystem and we can do something differently with it. So I really think it's a mindset shift of this whole project of like how people look at sargassum, but ultimately how people think about the ocean. And then of course, how they see themselves as scientists.
Here is the check-in part, right? I check it if it's small or it's too big. This right here I do.
So we are here at the lab, guys, where we have these beautiful ladies here. My colleague Janelle brought the Sargassum. We'll take them here over this side where my colleague, my next two beautiful colleagues, Miss Joyce and Brittany, they will take the compost and then put it in the blender and get it blend, right? And then we'll make the fertilizers and fibers. These right here, which is the fibers, we take it outside to let it dry. Yeah, as you can see, we bring out the fibers to let it dry. It takes about 2 weeks to dry. Very beautiful.
You don't need to agree at all. If you just care about the environment, if you want to provide solutions for your community, you can come to the BIMS Institute and get your hands wet, dirty, and really make changes in your community and be the change ultimately that you want to see.